Hi friends, welcome to Aishusdiy. This is a bead weaving project, I guess, and it's wrapped leather bracelet. So I made this wrapped leather bracelet. This is a 3 wrap bracelet around my wrist, and I wanted to show you guys how to make this. This is so much fun, and it's a lot of patience, but it is very easy to make it. It's not difficult, and it wraps around my wrist about 3 times. 2 and 3. That's how it wraps around my wrist. And this is a long bracelet, and I did some mistakes while doing this bracelet. Let me tell you guys, I had 3 packs of this mixed opalite tile beads, and I thought that should be enough. The third packet was a little short. I didn't buy this from the company, but I bought it from Mercari, so it is from Supply Emporium. I don't know where that one is. It's a 6 millimeter CM tile opal mix. There was 25 in it, so I used about say 25 in one pack would not do one bracelet for me. That's my wrist. My wrist is 6.5 inches, and so it wouldn't. We need 28 beads to do so, and then also we need 11 of seed beads. And since I had only 3 packs of those, and the third pack was a little bit short, I couldn't finish it off with one mix, so I had to add some beads. Luckily I had these ones, but you can see the difference between the blue in the first and the blue over here. Towards the end, I pretty much used only blue and gray, which I had in my stash available, but throughout the thing I didn't follow a pattern, which is a good thing. So I started off here, as you can see, with some 11 seed beads, and then I started stringing all of those, and then by the time I came around to, I was short for beads, so I had to use this one. It's fine, it's for me, so I'm fine with it. And when it comes around 3 times, um, you wouldn't even realize how good how much the difference is, right? So it's like this, it's going to be like this. So it wouldn't make much a difference in this bracelet for myself, but if I was to give it to somebody as a gift, or if I was selling it, I wouldn't be able to do this. So you need to be careful before decide how much you want your beads to be before you can actually do this project. You should have enough beads, is all I'm saying. And then for this we need a button. I used a Shank button. You can use regular 2-hole buttons or any other buttons that you want. For this project we need leather, of course. It's a leather lap bracelet. Yes, we need leather. And then what else we need? We need some beads. I'm using tile beads. These are 6 millimeter, some are 5 millimeter that I have in my stash. These ones are 6 millimeter though. Let me just put this over here. So these are 6 millimeter. In this sample, I'm not going to do a 3-wrap bracelet. It takes a long time, and so I'm just going to do only a single wrap bracelet, and it's a 2-needle technique that I'm using for this wrap bracelet. And this 2-needle technique is a bit easier. You can also do this with 1-needle technique, but the 2-needle technique is a bit easier than that. So I'm going to use this Preciosa or Nila pressed beads, loose tile, 6 millimeter, vitriol purple. There is 40 pieces in it, so enough for my single wrap strand. And this is an unopened package, so I'm know for sure that this will be enough for my single wrap bracelet. And for the single wrap bracelet, you need 28 beads plus some lavender seed beads, right? As you can see, I started with some Levanos over here, and over here you can see I used approximately 5 plus 6, 11, 22 Levanos, and the rest is going to be some of 28 of these beads. So we need the tile beads, and we need all of those 11 seed beads. Then we need fire line. I'm using 6-pound fire line. You need about 2.5 yards of fire line. And then we need, of course, leather. I used a brown leather in the sample here, but I'm going to use this leather. This one is pearl metallic, 1.5 millimeter thickness, round genuine leather. So I am going to take myself about say for this 3 wrap bracelet I used 3 yards, which is a yard is 36 inches, right? So I'm going to take just 1 yard and a little bit more, just to be on the safer side, because we don't want to run out of cord, right? So 2, that's 24, that is 36, plus I will have some 4 inches or so extra. So I cut my leather cord, and I have here about 40 inches of leather, say. So here we go. So that is that, and I'll be back with the button. So this is the shank button that I have, which I'm going to use it, and this is about, say, 1.6 inch big. So this one I'm going to use the silver button. In this I used a dark leather cord, which is brown and brownish black, so it had a two-tone. And then I used white wildfire. You can also use fireline or nanofill, whichever you want. And I used a gold button for that, and then I'm going to use a silver button for this. It's up to you, whichever button you want to use, you can use. And then I said 2 needle technique. I have 2 needles. I did thread one needle onto one end of the thread. I cut about 2.5 yards of fire line. A yard is 36 inch, by the way. And then I'm going to thread the other end. So then thread, I'm just going to flatten my thread. As you can see, the thread is always rounded. So I'm just going to flatten my thread with my tweezer nose pliers. You can also do this with any needle nose pliers, as you can see now. Let's see, it's focusing. It's flattened now. Now instead of putting the thread inside the needle, put the needle inside the thread. That's much more easier. As you can see, I thread it immediately. And then pull the short one with your pliers, and there you go, you have threaded your needle. This is a simple way. So this much short tail is good enough for me. And the other end also I did thread it with the needle, 2.5 yards worth of fire line is ready to go. Now I'm going to use macrame board for this project. You can also use a tying station. I'm going to use that this thing from the tying station that we have it, the spongy ones. You can use any leather spool cord, will also work for that matter. Let me tell you guys how I'm planning to use that. Let's take this wildfire off. Take my leather off, and then thread my shank button into the shank button. Put the ends together and bring the button to the middle of the leather cord. Here we go. So over here, and then overhand knot. Wrap it around and put that through. Bring it out, and that's an overhand knot. While you are bringing down the loop. Make sure the loop is right next to the button, but the button still needs movement. So once you're happy with it, tighten it by pulling on the individual one. That's good enough. So that's our knot right there, nice and secure. So we have our knot under the place. And then this one, we need 11 seed beads. You can use any 11 seed beads that you have available. I'm going to use silver beads, as I'm going to use this bright color. I'm going to tone down this with some silver, and also I'm using a silver metallic button, right? So I'm just going to pour some. We don't need a lot of 11 seed beads, but if you want to continue a little bit longer of the stretch with the 11 seed beads, you can do so. So I'm taking my needle, put one of the needle under the leather cord. So I have my thread under this button, the leather. Pick up one 11, bring it down and pass through that 11 crisscross through the next needle, just like so. And then put these two needles together and bring this bead down. That way it's right in the middle, right? Now bring it right on top of the leather where you want that to be. Now this is on top. We want to set this bead right in between the leather. So I'm just taking my right side cord or wildfire, going under, from under the, my thread is on top, right? Crossing right here, going under the leather, coming up right there, and going into the 11 from right to left. Keep hold of the 11 in your hand and pull this cord. Pull this thread, and I like to put it down like that. Then take the left cord, put it under the leather, and then go through the 11 from left to right this time. Hold the 11 between your fingers and pull the cord. And then push it all the way up where you want it to be. Now the bead will sit right in between the leather, right? Let me just bring it a little bit closer. There we go. Then now we are going to get into position to add beads. My thread is coming on top of the leathers, so I want to take my right cord, go underneath the leather and come up just like that, right? And I just put it like that. Take my left cord, go underneath the leather, excuse me, and then keep it right there. Now my thread is coming from underneath the leather cord, so pick up two 11 seed beads, doesn't matter which one, right or left. Two 11 seed beads on one side. I picked up in my right. Take my left needle and cross through those 2 lemon seed beads. And then pull your thread. It's a long thread, so initially it will be little bit difficult to maneuver, but later on it will come in handy. Having not to add thread is a big thing in this project. So I mean, you can add thread, it's simple, but it will show the knots a little bit, so I prefer not to do that. Now the thread is coming on top. Now I will get into position by just going under the leather on my right side with my right cord and keep it the same left side with my left cord and keep it. We'll secure this to the macrame board. That will be simpler, but I'm just going to do the seed beads with just on the mat. So now I'm ready. Pick up 2 seed beads, lemon seed beads on one side and crisscross with the other needle. Make sure it's nice and tight, and then again get in position. The same here. Now we have these 2 here. Now we are going to pick up 3 seed beads, 3 lemon seed beads, and then crisscross through the 3 lemon seed beads. There we go. So get into position by going underneath with the right cord, just like so, and put it down. Take my left cord, go underneath the leather and put it down. I am in position for the next one, so we need to add one more 3 seed beads. I picked it up on my right needle. With my left needle, I'm going to go through the seed beads, all 3 seed beads, and then pull these 2 tight. It's a long cord. It might take some while to do this, but be patient. The cord will shrink as we add beads. There we go. And now I'm ready to do the tile part. I'm done with my lemon seed beads. For now, I will pick up the lemon seed beads and add it back to my ziplock here, so that I don't bump and waste my beads right there. So now I will shift to the macrame board. That will be much more easier for me. So now let's secure this to the board. So I have here a small piece of Chinese knotting cord, which I made it into a circle and tied 2 knots, a small cord. So what I will do is I will pick up this button, put this into this button, just slide it over into this button and secure this cord to my macrame board, just like so. That way I can start from here without any problems whatsoever. And then I can start it, and then take these two cords and take it two cords and put it in this end. So I have a nice tension. We need a nice tension for that. But to go underneath the cords, what I would like to do is pick up my leather cord and then I take this. You can also use a leather cord like that or any circular or square object and put it right here so that I have space to go underneath and come up, if that makes sense. Now I am ready to add the tile beads. I am in position. I just put everything around so the thread is coming out from underneath. I take my right needle, put it, the tile beads has two holes on the top and the bottom, and I'm putting in one just like that. Then taking my left needle and putting from opposite side in the same hole just like that, and then pull this through just like how we did with the three seed beads in the last row. We are doing it now. So now my thread is coming on top of the, let me just zoom in a bit, on the top of the leather over here, right? So now I need to do the bottom hole of the tile bead. For that I'll come into place by just putting my needle underneath the right side leather with my right needle and then coming out like that. Do the same with the left side needle and the left leather and then coming out like that. Now I am in position to do the next crisscross. So I just crisscross with my left needle going through the right, this side, and my right needle going through the left, this side. And then pull through. Somehow, there we go. So now this is attached, as you can see. So make sure it's there is no gap in between the piece. Now I'm ready to get into position to add the next bead. I'll do the same. Put my needle under my left leather, come back, and my thread is coming out from underneath in the middle, and do the same with the right needle under this right leather cord. And now I am ready to add the next tile bead. Take the next tile bead and right through and then left crisscross, and then pull the thread through. So I have added enough thread so that I don't have to add any more for the entire bracelet. But if working with such a big thread is a little bit difficult for you guys, you can do a short one. I will show you guys how to add and add new thread, but this way it's easier. Now again I'm getting into position by going under the right leather cord. I need there is one more thing that we need to pay attention to is this preparation process going underneath has to go right next to that, and the crisscross has to happen after this, not like before. You should have this thread above so that when you come and crisscross it's okay. Do the same for this side. So if it comes below or so, then it's a problem. See, I will show you guys exactly what I mean. So my thread is coming out from the inner part, right? So if I don't keep it up here and I keep it down here, and then I crisscross through this bead just like so. Take my right cord and then go through this. So if one thing comes up, then there should be a problem that will overlap here. So it's always good to have that above. So now get into position by going underneath. In the single needle technique, this getting into position is not there, so it becomes a little bit easier, but at the same time you go back and forth like this. So I find this method to be easier than the single needle technique. So right over left, left over right. So it takes a little bit of time, but then the results are worth it. So these are 2 whole beads, so we are going on top and bottom. And also you can actually do this, the preparation step and this one, and come back here. So my left cord job is done, left needle job is done. So I take my right needle. See, if I do this preparation step here just like that, and then I put it across, there will be a problem. I'll show you guys right now. That's what I mean to what is the problem is. So you can see this. Wow. Okay. So there should not be any thread bridge here. Basically you are not supposed to take your needle and go through this. If that is the case, then it will be a cross here. Stepping up just like so. And then don't leave a gap, tighten it up after every crossover, otherwise it will be tight. As you can see here, I made that mistake here. See, I went through twice. There is 2 threads here connecting these 3 beads. So that's the mistake I did. I didn't catch it quite properly. See, the first time you crisscross, your thread is going to come up the leather like this. Then you'll have to step up. So I stepped up twice for this bead, and I had this lag also. Plus, there is 2 threads. So how do I fix the lag? I just come up, push this, just go zigzag and pull each thread up to tighten it. whenever you step up, it's only, get ready for the crisscross. You just go under the thread just once and not twice, and pay attention to it. And after every crisscross, tighten your thread so that it doesn't get loose anywhere. So that's it. You continue this. See this, there is a lag here. So I go here, I pull this, I go here, I pull this. And then you tighten that up by pulling the cord every pass. So just hold your leather straight so that there is tension here, and plus you make sure that you pull the cord tight after every crisscross, and you continue stringing all the beads, and then I'll come back. I need to fix this lag of thread here. Sometimes your bead will stand like this. Let me show it to you on the side, just like that above, so it's easy for you to crisscross that way. Now you can actually, it's a way for you to easily crisscross because it's right on top and not flat against your leather. You just keep it like that, then don't pull it tight yet. Keep this above and do the other side also, and then pull it. Tighten it and continue doing this as long as your wrist size. So how will you measure your wrist size? Take a tape measure. That's easy. Put it around your wrist just like so. Bring it out, and my wrist is say 6.5 inches, right there. Okay, let me show you. .5 inches is my wrist size. So you can find out your wrist size exactly, and then measure this after the button, like, or from the button until the last knot, and then you can, for me, for 6.5 inch wrist, I need 28 of the style beads, apart from the one row of one bead, two rows of 11 seed beads, and three 2 rows of 11 seed beads. So 5 rows totally. After the 11 seed beads, 5 rows, I need 28 beads, and after that again I will do the 11 seed beads as well. So we can calculate it that way. And also the mistake, as you can see here, there is a crisscross of thread. So that happened because I did it crisscross when I was going through right to left. I did go through, and then I did the preparation step. So you can avoid this by going through this thread. You can rectify this actually by going through that, then it will be in position. So for example, this stepping up, so how I did the mistake, let me tell you guys. So I stepped up the right needle. That means stepping up is like getting ready for the next crisscross, and then I went through this now I need to add more. So, and then I go through this bead. Okay, so now let's just continue this in the normal fashion, because the second step is the one I can show you guys how we can do the mistake if we are not careful. Let me do this. Okay, now here is it. So now I need to get under the right leather cord and then come up to get into position to do the crisscross. Now I crisscross and go to the right hand side. I'm not touching my left thread. Now this thread is here. I take my left hand thread and see the left hand needle. The right hand thread is coming here. The left hand thread goes down, and now I go under the left thread and get ready for adding it, and then I go through this. So if you wait for that and do it across, you get this crossing thing. So that's the issue here. So if I do the crisscross only on the right hand side, okay, make sure everything is nice and tight, and if I do only on the right hand side, and then I also step up or get ready to do the crisscross on the right hand side first. Just by not picking up the left, then I do this step up as well, and then if I take my left, go underneath and then crisscross through. Now you can see my thread is caught, and that is a mistake that I did. There is a V-shaped thread right there. So that's why you need to crisscross. You need to step up or get ready and then crisscross, and then do the step up for the next pass through. To correct this, all you need to do is take your needle on the left hand side, right, go underneath this cord first, and then come through from there, and now it's all done and ready. See, now it's fine. So that's the mistake I was talking about. Hope I am clear. I didn't confuse you guys much. All I want you guys to do is go underneath with both, with left side needle on the left cord and right side needle on the right cord, and then crisscross, and then do the preparation next step. So go step by step. Don't just do one needle technique when you're not having one needle. So let's just do the two needle technique, because that's what we are using for this, right? See, it stands up, so it's easy for us to do the next one. And this tension is also really important, so make sure that you have something to hold on to. If you have it in a clipboard or something like that, you can also use the knotting tool, bead along knotting tool. That's also very helpful, but I prefer to do it here in the macrame board. This seems to be easier for me. I mean, especially if I am doing a multi-wrap bracelet. This is a single wrap bracelet. I feel comfortable using the knotting tool. The tying station. I'm saying knotting tool for so long. Sorry, it's tying station. It's bead along tying station. Okay, this is what it is. So you can use this also. It will be very helpful as well. So as a clipboard or even a binder clip with the tray, anything works for this project. Since I have the big macrame board, I'm using that. With the tying station, with a 3-strand 3-wrap bracelet, I had to remove it and add it, remove it and add it. So the macrame board kind of made sense for me. So I'm sticking with the macrame. So it's not 28 tile beads, it's 23 tile beads. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 22 tile beads actually. So it's not 28, it's 22, sometimes 23. I did calculate it with the triple strand bracelet, but you need to give it a little bit space for it to actually overlap like this and join together, wherein if you're doing a single strand you don't do the overlap. So maybe that is that's what it is, I think. So it's 22 beads and still it fits my wrist, plus we are going to add half an inch with just the seed beads, so it should be good. For a 6.5 inch wrist, it is 22 beads. And then we shall finish it up. So my thread is coming up on top, so I go underneath on both sides and get into position, or I call this step as stepping up. Okay, now here we go. So pick up 3 seed beads, 11 of seed beads on my right needle and crisscross with my left needle through all the 3 seed beads. Let me just let the camera focus. There we go. And then pull these 2 up, and now we have these 3, and as you can see it's just reducing a bit. So go underneath the cords and get into position to add the next row of beads, seed beads. Make sure you tighten that up because we are reducing it, right? So again, 3 seed beads on my right needle. It doesn't matter whether you're picking it up on your left or your right. This time picking up in the left and then crisscrossing with the right needle. And then pulling my thread tight. going underneath. This time I will pick up only 2 seed beads and then crisscross. So it will automatically get tight when we get to the end, but we shall also tighten after every crisscross. As you can see, it's tapering down, and now one more row of 2 seed beads. Pick it up, crisscross. So instead of the tile beads, you can use any other bead you want, any 2-hole beads. You can also use super duo and stuff like that, or you can use regular fire polished gemstones, whichever you want. The option is endless. The final row, I pick up just 1 seed bead and crisscross through the needles, and also tapering down. Depending upon how wide your bead is, you need to taper that down. So now let's finish this, right? So let me just put this up so that you can have a better position to see. So here my thread is coming on top, so I'm just going underneath with my right thread, and there is a loop, right? Just go through that loop. As you can see, it's like a 6, and then tighten that up. Okay, and then you can also pass through that loop again. Thereby making a knot right there, and then going through this bead and coming down. Now picking up the left cord, going underneath the the left leather, making a knot, making a loop, going through that loop and pulling that cord, and then going upwards, from under upwards to the right hand side. So basically we are making a knot and going through the opposite direction. Now you can do the same, come down. So my right needle thread is coming up on top, so I go underneath, go into the 11 seed beads and come up on the top. Make sure you don't pierce the leather, which I think I did. So just go underneath this like that way you don't pierce the leather, and then go up on top, come back. The left side needle was coming from down right there, so I go up and then go through the 11 seed beads and under. After doing that, you can also come up through here, make a loop, and then go through, make this tight, make a loop, go through once and go through twice and pull it up close. There we go. And then you can do the same with the left hand cord. Go underneath, go through the loop once and twice, then pull that cord up and straight, and then go ahead and trim it off. You can also glue it. I would just leave a tad bit of tail. And then see, I have more than enough cord left. So let me tell you guys the exact measurement once I do this. Okay, take this off of the macrame board. So this is what I have, and there is a short tail. So what I do is I just make a loop, take the two leather cords and put it inside the loop. This is an overhand knot that I'm gonna do. While I'm doing it, I'm making sure those two cords come in between my knot, as you can see. So now I just go ahead and tighten my knot. Right next to the single seed bead row. Now you can see the cord is coming out a little bit, but that's okay. So here's my knot. Then I bring this button here. Make sure the loop that I leave is sufficient enough to go through the button, which over here it will be. And then I take it and make another knot. So before tightening the knot, keep it loose. Make sure your decide which side it needs to be. Yes. So make sure the button goes through the loop. So just keep it like that, and now you know for sure it will. And go ahead and cinch this knot. You can also put a glue if you want to, but it is not really needed. All you need to do is tighten this knot one by one, and then you can cut this cord off. I will not cut it close. I'll just leave a little bit of a tail, just like so, and then cut it. Our bracelet is ready. It's a single wrap bracelet. If you want, you can do double wrap or triple wrap, or how much ever wrap you want. And I have this much cord left. I will measure this. So for tying this, the fire line is 1.5 yards is more than enough. And this one right here is, I have approximately, say, 17 inches left. So which is what, yeah, in 36 inch I have 17 inches left. So you probably need half only. So that's how much you will need for single wrap bracelet. And for this one right here, I almost used that. I don't know why, but I almost used that much cord, and I had only um, this much left. So this is a triple wrap bracelet that I made. When you're doing triple wrap, I think you might also consider it to be having a little bit loose, because you have to crisscross this in one way or the other. So this is how much I need. So I cut a little bit extra than whatever I need, otherwise it's hard to add leather to it. But if you think about it, the exact amount of leather you will need for this bracelet, um, this one measures from here to here 9 inches, including the slot for the button. So 18 inches plus so 18 inches, and then we have to do 3 knots. And so probably you can get away with say 22 or 25 inches to be safe. 25 inches of leather cord should be safe, and then 1.5 yards, sorry, approximately, I think a wingspan of thread should be good enough for doing this knots. So you can take a little bit more and have a little bit extra left, or you can use just 24 inches of thread and then add thread later. Adding thread, finishing the thread will be exactly like how we finished it right now, except you won't leave a short tail to add into the knot here. That's how you need to crisscross and tie knots on the end, and then trim it off. And then how you started adding thread in the first place here, when you added the single seed bead, is how you add thread with just the tile bead. Wherever you stop, you add it, and then you start over, and it will not make any difference in this crisscrossing pattern of wire on the leather cord. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos almost every day. It comes around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.